having a weekend only. It's a very long weekend that you people are celebrating. So in the series of FAM sessions that we are having for you people, we have Dr. Ravinder Dogra with us. Dr. Ravinder Dogra is full of ideas. So, sir, let's share your ideas.
Sure, ma'am.
Yes. So you may please start. You are co-host. You can share your screen too.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. Okay, very good afternoon to one and all. Hello, this is Dr. Ravinder. Currently, I'm working in IITTM Gwalior as assistant professor. Okay, so I just wanted to give a brief idea about like why I am into this area and what exactly we are going to discuss today. Okay, fine. So like if I'll be moving my towards my background, so I did my PhD in rural tourism, that is in sustainable development and the community participation. So my research area is rural area. So even we had clubbed a new segment that is entrepreneurship with the rural tourism. How you can start your own venture. Before coming to IITTM, I had worked in certain projects with Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, related to rural tourism. We had taken around some destinations. We had checked that what is happening in those in all those destinations, in all those places, and in some of these destinations, this model is successful, rural tourism, and in some of these destinations, this model has like seen the failures also. Okay. So we had did a kind of like elaborated study that what are the reasons that has to be identified that why it is successful and why it is not in some areas. And next, which is very important topic for you guys, is you all are the freshers. Okay, fine. That welcome to IITTM. Next is like you all are gonna see something like a different kind of perspective of tourism. Till now, we had seen that traveling to a different place is known as tourism. Okay, but now you will be having an access to see that why tourism is such a vast industry. Okay, and what kind of different aspects it is having, what kind of different segments it is having. Okay, one thing. Second thing, what I wanted to have in this session, like within this short period, we'll be trying to come up with. I just wanted to ignite some inquisitiveness in you, है ना? थोड़ा सा चिंगारी लगाना चाहता हूँ कि what are the opportunities you guys are going to have in this industry or in this particular segment. Okay, and I will share some case studies, not in an elaborated way, but in a very smooth, like in a small or in a minute way, that how they did and what they did and how they had tasted the success. Okay, so let's come back to this. I'll be touching the rural tourism. Okay, so it's an area. Yeah, I'll be touching it in like from the different perspective, not from a regular perspective that what rural tourism is, that and all is. Now the point is that why rural tourism, है ना? कि क्यों हम लोग rural tourism की बात कर रहे हैं? Let me give you an example that whenever we are having certain problems, okay, or whenever we are facing certain challenges, in that case we should have an alternative with us. Okay. And that alternative is rural tourism in terms of tourism industry. Why it is so? Let me give an example. When that bomb blast happened in Bali, okay, in Indonesia. So at that time they had seen like a downfall in tourism. Like suddenly people, they had stopped visiting that area. Around 200 Australians died, 80 some people from the other countries. Localites also, around 100 localites, they also died. So that was having a huge impact on the tourism industry of Bali. Okay, that was totally dependent on the rural tourism, sorry, on that leisure tourism, and that too on the international tourism. Okay, but they had seen this problem, and after seeing this issue, what they did that they had seen that now the tourism is declining, they're not having the tourists. Now what to do? So they started focusing on the two segments. One is the domestic tourism, and another is the rural area, rural tourism, the rural life of the local people. And they'd seen that within certain time period, they started earning more than that the international tourism. And they realized like this is the power of the rural tourism we have in our country. Okay, very like it's a one example. Now another example which I wanted to share with you all is that is the COVID. Now what happened in COVID, if I'll be giving an option, ki, okay, you guys are allowed to travel to different location or in any part of the country or any part of the world, okay, of your favorite destination. So mostly you will avoid the places which are having the crowd, okay, which are having a lot of crowd or which are being traveled by a lot of different people. And you will try to get an option that is somewhere countryside, somewhere you're not having that much of burden on a destination, somewhere you're not facing that much of problem. Okay, so that you will try to take. And that option has been taken up as this thing, the rural tourism and tourism industry. So what they did, governments of many countries, they tried to explore this area, this segment, that why not to come up with the tourism or the rural tourism? Why not to provide opportunities to the rural tourism? But or again, some examples are there. One is in New Zealand. So what they did in order to promote tourism, because they had seen that the reduced number of cases, and even sometimes it was zero also. So they had seen the reduced number of cases of COVID. So what they did, they had allowed people to visit to the countryside or the rural destinations. Okay. And for that, what they did, they had given them an option. You can do one thing. You can what they did, they had extended the weekend. Like instead of 2 days off in weekend, they had given them 3 days weekend. Okay, so it means now one can go, they can stay in that location and they can come back. Okay, so this is how they had promoted it. One. Second, China, what they did, even when the COVID was like coming in a stronger way in Wuhan and other places, what they did, they had opened the rural segments for them. Okay, maintain the social distance, follow the norms, protocol and all. And if you really wanted to stay in some like locations away from your home, so that is the point where you can go. So they had given them an option, go to the rural destinations too. Third point, what happened in UK and in US. Okay, in UK and US, even in Italy also, what they did, they had just closed their all circuits, but they were knowing that people, they are not going to stay back at home. So what they did, they had started a countryside tourism. Again, it's a kind of form of rural tourism, not exactly the rural tourism. So they had started with the countryside tourism or the kind of farm tourism, like visit the farm areas, okay, book your own bungalow. So they had made an organization and they had booked a lot of such kind of homestays or such kind of farms or such kind of countryside properties under one organization, and they had given them option through online. You just book it, take your vehicle, visit to that place, stay in that area, enjoy the local farming and all. Don't mingle up with the people. Okay, just make it like ensure a safe distance from them, and then come back. Okay, so this is something which they had initiated in those areas. So why they did it? Okay, what is the reason behind that? Now let's come to the this thing. PPT which I had prepared for you all, and I will be sharing some examples also. Is this visible to all of you? Hello, is this visible? Fine. Okay. So now let's start with this. Now, what exactly the rural tourism in India is? Okay. India, we all know it's such a vast country, and we have a lot of different this thing kind of tourism opportunities. Geographical variedness is there. Okay, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, from this Gujarat to even northeastern states, we are having the various cultural products. Okay, the dynamics are totally different, demography is totally different, and the cultural aspects is totally amazing. The kind of food which we are getting in northern area is not available in the southern area, and the southern food is totally different from the northeastern or the western or the northern area. Okay, and even in the central portion of India, where we have the MP, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, and Maharashtra area. So here also we have the options of different kind of cuisines and the culture. Okay, so this is what the variety of products which we have in our this thing, the bucket in terms of tourism. Let's come to the rural tourism in India. Like what happened that like earlier in the earlier phases, rural tourism was not a part of that strategy. Instead of that, we were having the mass tourism. People were coming to certain destinations. Okay, laterly they started with the religious activities or the religious destinations, but somewhere they were not touching the rural tourism component. Okay, isko touch hi nahi kiya. So it means that it remained untouched for a longer time period. So what happened that because of this issue, somewhere it was thought that we have a major population segment. Okay, let's take example. According to the census 2011, around 66.6% of Indian population there resides in villages. Okay, that too in 5.5 lakh villages. So it means that it's such a huge number. If 66.6% of population resides in those areas, so somewhere we have to bring some kind of development in those places. Okay, and the tourism was considered as one of the area which really can be a source of development in such destinations. So that was considered, why not to introduce rural tourism here? Why not to add some different kind of components in the rural destinations, so that this rural population of around 66%, they will also be able to get the benefits. One thing. Second component is alternate segment. Okay, why to push, why to give like put burden on all the destinations which are already famous. Okay, we are having the famous destinations, and if we are putting all the burden on those places, that will really face a lot of problem in the future stages. And to avoid it, what we did, we had come up with the this rural tourism model, that we'll be introducing this model, and let's divert some tourists towards that rural destinations. Okay, second segment. Third is that whenever we are talking, like whenever we are conducting some kind of surveys with the foreign tourists and other people, so they like the culture of India. Okay, they like the traditions of India. They like the rituals of India. They wanted to see the real India or the real country, like how they are staying together, how they are doing the farming, how they are celebrating the different fairs and festivals, what kind of rituals they wanted, they're performing. So their aim was to capture that particular thing or to see that area. And how is it possible to have an interest of that particular segment? That only can be happen if we are giving them a kind of segment or which is having a reality. It's not something that has been created for the tourists. It is really natural in itself. And now we are sending people to that area, or the people are going to those places, and they're seeing it, or they're just experiencing it by themselves. Okay, what this is what the real India is. Okay, this is what the real cultural aspect of India is. This is what the tradition is. This is what that fair and festivals are. Okay, so this is something which is apart from all such tourisms. Okay, somewhere we are just creating the things. We are just doing some kind of amalgamation. It's not the pure. But here in rural tourism we have the purity. Okay, and that is something which has been appreciated and or which has been liked by all the people throughout the world. If you really wanted to see the culture in India, the kind of different aspects of the rural segments, just visit India. Okay, and we had really gained a lot of this thing, the kind of interest for this particular segment. So now, what exactly this rural tourism is? Okay, so this rural tourism is, it is defined as a movement of people from their normal area of residence to a rural destination to enjoy rural lifestyle. Okay, so now what they're doing, suppose you all are staying in the urban destinations. Okay, like many of you are staying in the urban destinations, and in those urban destinations, we are facing a lot of challenges. Okay, that we have the confined boundaries, like it is 1000 square feet area we are having, and we are not crossing it, we are not going up apart from that. And the kids who are there in the home, they're staying inside the home only. For them, the playground means a small ground of around few meters. Okay, that's all. So their life is confined with certain restrictions. And now, if we really wanted to give them exposure, we are taking them to the rural destinations. Okay, there they have that endless boundaries, nature, environment, freeness, purity, organic food, everything is available in that area. Okay, apart from that, they are able to get the right exposure, like animals or the cows, buffaloes, which we are showing them on the roads. We are showing them, okay, this is how the cow stays here. Okay, this is how the buffaloes have been, the cattle have been kept in such places. Okay, so that gives a kind of real experience or a kind of different experience. If they're eating food at the village level where they're preparing in their common chula or the tandoor, okay, so that taste is really awesome. That taste is really different. Okay, and now we have a big number of people or big number of class who wanted to experience such kind of rural tourism segments. Okay, they wanted to visit such places, they wanted to spend their night over there, they wanted to spend their days over there, and they wanted to enjoy it. Okay, I want to give you one more small example. This case is about Almora. So what we did, we had trained the guides of Almora in Uttarakhand, and in Almora we have one place that is known as Binsar Wildlife Sanctuary. Okay, so we had been to Binsar, and in that Binsar we have some rural, some rural households are there in that in one segment of the Binsar. So what they do exactly, they had come up with a kind of outhouse. Okay, so they had constructed one outhouse. So it means that people, they can stay there, and it has been made up by wood, only the local material which is available in that area. Second, what they are doing, they had, sorry, the second what they did, they had added one more component, and that component is tour the guiding. Okay, so a localite of that area, one of my one of our trained guide is there. His name is Santosh. Okay, so Santosh, what he do? He's just taking them to bird watching. Okay, so he's taking them for the bird watching, and they are just doing that bird watching in that area. and they're bringing them back. They're providing the local food, local cuisines, local fruits of that area. Like kafal is one of the fruit which is available. Then we have this thing, kilmoda, chilmoda, grasses and other things are there, and they're getting exposure related to that. Okay, they're seeing the right thing at the right place. Then they're also getting the history of that place. They're also getting the local folks, local this thing, folklores of that particular area. Okay, experience. Okay, and they're like around 10,000 rupees the person is getting an outhouse. So it means for a day for stay they're paying only 1,000 rupees. Apart from that, they're paying only food for food. They're also experience away from city areas, away from the pollution areas. They're having a peace, and the writers and the bloggers and other people who are having interest in the, such silence or in tranquility places, they are visiting such areas. Okay, so this is what the beauty of this rural segment is. Okay, one idea or one example. I'll keep on giving you examples, and I'll keep on igniting inquisitiveness among you. So at the end, you will definitely make a list of the destination where you will definitely visit in the nearby future. Okay, now let's come to another area. So here we have the two images. Okay, on the right hand side, some game is happening, a local sports. On the left hand side, a foreigner is standing with a group of people of Pune. This village is known as Murachi Chincholi, left hand side village. And the right hand side, this village is from Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, that is known as Basoli. So we have two different destinations, okay, of two different states or two different regions. So now what happens it is associated with search by the national and international tourists. Okay, what exactly they wanted to search? They wanted to search the tranquility and space for outdoor recreation. They don't want it to be confined within an area. They don't want to see the rural segments or wildlife in National Geographic or in History Channel or in some rural destination or some other thing. No, they wanted to experience it by themselves. They wanted to have the pure air. They wanted to be involved in all those activities. कि अच्छा वो लोग plow करते हैं, खेती करते हैं. They are doing harvesting and all. We wanted to do it. They are doing that. They are playing those sports at the ground level. We wanted to enjoy that sports. Okay, like let's take example Tomatino. Okay, Tomatino, or whether it is bull race and all. People are going to such countries, foreign, Spain, France, and all such places to enjoy those kind of games. Okay, and when we have such things here in India, why not to attract them to in these destinations? Okay, we can attract them. We have the options, we have the resources, we have the people who can provide them such kind of experiences. So why not to focus on that area? And believe me, if you'll be talking with some foreign tourists or the tourists, they are not fed up with all those created attractions. Okay, they wanted to have a real experience. They wanted to be in such kind of places. And even during the COVID, okay, even the counselors, they are suggesting, sir, do one thing now that you are in trauma of that COVID, do one thing, take your family to some countryside area or some rural area, spend some the quality time over there, then come back and the things will be totally different. Okay, so this is why the tranquility and search of experiences there from the national and international tourists. They both wanted to see or enjoy some of the destinations. Now, what happened when Himachal got opened? Many people they had traveled to the Shimla, the other places like Dharamshala, Malana, and other areas. Okay, many of our colleagues now they are working that sector. I'm getting news, ki, sir, you also visit, you also come. But my this thing taste is a little bit different. I wanted to be in some remote village, okay, and there I wanted to do the camping. I wanted to be near a stream area, and but who will provide me that option? Who will provide me that opportunity? So that I have to search. So that's why like we have the options to do it. Okay, we have the option to handle this thing. Okay, so those who are raising hands, we can take the doubts at the later stage. You can, after certain time, like you will be allowed to put this thing in the form of questions. Okay, and we will be doing it later. Fine. Okay, now moving further, okay, so what we have that we have the recreational activities, we have the special nature zones in that area, and that can be really experienced. So we have certain definition like rural tourism generates like a lot of opportunities for the localites, and if it has been done under the practices of sustainability, we are not getting any problem in those places. Now I will be coming to this also, that what exactly it is. Okay, no, it's something which I had shared with you all. That is around 66% of the population of India resides in 5.5 lakh villages. Okay, it's such a huge number. So if we know that tourism is a mode of development, if we know that tourism is a source of this thing, the economic enhancement, or that income generation, like we also heard a lot of from a lot of studies that it gives direct employment to around 5 to 7 people and indirect employment to around 30 or to 30 to 45 people. Okay, so this is what the power of tourism is. So why not to bring this thing in the rural destinations? Now another thing is it generate tourism in the rural areas without disturbing the local environment. Now why we are talking about this thing is, okay, and you might be having doubt related to this particular point. We say that if we'll be sending tourists to the local villages, it will destroy their culture, it will create a lot of problems, it will do this, that, another thing. Fine, accepted. One. Second, you might be having another doubt that how it will save the environment if people will be going to that village areas, so environment will be spoiled. Okay, fine, that is also accepted. But just take example, if you're sending some people to an area where we are not having any rural setup or people are not staying in that area, then they are not having any kind of control. Okay, so they will be out of control, and the things which they are doing in those places cannot be monitored. Okay, so suppose like if I'm going in a jungle, if I even I'm doing I'm killing the animals, or if I'm doing poaching and all, so it's not easy to take control on me, or to have a proper monitoring facility on me. But if I'm going through a rural segment, these rural guides are taking me, then I know that somebody is there who is monitoring me. Okay, an organization is there who is aware about the rural tourism benefits. That's a proper training is also required for the rural tourism destination people before starting off this kind of initiative. And we'll be having a different experience. Okay, the rural people, they will make us understand the importance of certain things, make us understand the importance of location, destination, birds, and other thing. Okay, here I wanted to give you two examples. Okay, one is about the Tejpur. There was a person, his name was Peter Lobo. Okay, and currently he's working in that area only. So he was, when he went back to his local destination, local native place, the major this thing, kind of earning source of earning of that particular community was hunting. Okay, or they were just killing birds, hunting birds, and they were selling it to the market. Okay, so that was their major source of income. So what this person did, he introduced some of the tourists to them. He said, okay, fine, you just locate or you just identify the place of that particular bird to me, help me to see that particular bird, and we will pay you more than the money which you are getting while killing a bird. Okay, so now what that person did, he had ignited an inquisitiveness among them, that instead of killing, just do the bird watching, become the bird watchers, and you learn more out of it. And the scenario has changed. Now all the people in that area, now they are the very good bird watchers. They are taking them to different locations. They have their own known places because they are the locals, and they are not allowing the outsiders to like put any kind of litter or some kind of plastic in that area, and they're taking care of it. We had gone to that area. I had taken a local guide. Even to Kaziranga also we went with those guides, and they're very serious about their work, and they're having way too much respect about their locations or the destinations. Okay, and they never allow anyone to like disturb the local environment of that area. They say, okay, sir, you are here, please respect the local culture. So that is what the importance of the rural tourism is. Now another example which I want to give you related to this, it is about like every year we had seen that in Uttarakhand, okay, we have a concept of ghost villages. Now, what is that ghost villages? Uttarakhand is divided into two segments. Okay, one is your Kumaon region, okay, and another is your this thing that Garhwal region. Okay, so in Kumaon region where we have Nainital and all such places, okay, we have tourists that are visiting to that area. Even in Garhwal area, when like tourists are visiting to those places also. Okay, but in the border of China, somewhere we had seen that people are migrating towards the city areas. They're not remaining there, and the reason is that because it is too diverse. So like facilities are not reaching to those places. They're not having good source of income. They're not having that motivation to stay in that area. So they are migrating. Okay, so they are moving to other places. They started moving to other places, and all those places they are now vacant. Nobody's staying in those places. So that's why we are calling them a kind of haunted places, or a kind of like ghost places. Not other reason is there. Okay, and just because of it, the situation is now is worst in those areas. So what to do in certain cases? So government, what they did, they decided a strategy to introduce homestays. Okay, so what they are doing, they are just keeping a segment of their home for this homestays. Tourists, they're motivating tourists to visit to those places. They had added them in their itineraries. Itinerary is a blueprint of your tour plan. So they are just preparing an itinerary and they're sending them to those places. In even the local service providers have been told to keep such places in their itineraries, so that they have to keep at least one place in their itinerary. So those who are going for the long route destinations. Okay, so now so this gives them an idea ki, okay fine, this is also there. And these people, they are staying in those vacated houses that has been maintained by some people. Now they are going back and they're maintaining it. Okay, and government is giving them subsidies, fundings, help, expert advice, support, everything they're giving them. Now they're staying back, and also people are coming to their villages, they're enjoying the destination, they are paying them back. So it means that in my home only I am getting money. I'm meeting with tourists of different cultures. I'm showing my village. I'm feeling proud of this particular destination. They are praising about my place, about my services. And now the scenario is changing. Okay, so this is the beauty of a rural tourism. Okay, now let's come to this. Like, rural tourism is an answer to many challenges. Now, what are these challenges? One is the social distancing. Okay, fine. Whenever we are talking about the rural distancing and all, so sorry, tourism and all. So what happened that they have the local panchayats or the local governing bodies. So they had made certain rules. Okay, like if they have certain kind of option of camping and all such things. So there you can visit to those places. Okay, and you can do the camping and all, but you have certain rules. Okay, and that rules has to be followed. It means that I cannot go and mingle up with the people. Okay, I have to maintain some distance. I have to be there for a certain time period. Okay, I have to take care of the local flora, fauna, and all, and so that I can stay there properly. So this is what the social distancing that answer is there in those places. We know that in other tourist attraction, it's not that easy. We know that we have to maintain queues. So much rush is there. If everybody will be moving out of their home, we can't see all the destinations. Not at all possible. We have an example of Nainital. On Saturday, Sundays, Delhi people, they're just people from Delhi and the nearby area, they are all rush towards an Nainital. Okay, and in that Malital, Talital, okay, so it is totally crowded. You're not having space to move even an inch. So for like around 1 kilometer, to cover around 1 kilometer, you are taking around 2 to 3 hours. Okay, so this is the pressure which we are having in those destinations. So that's why it should be planned properly. It should be taken in a better way. Fine. Next is economic enhancement. We know that tourism is a income generating area. It generates a lot of income. It attracts foreign currency, foreign investments and all. It also provides employment opportunities to the local directly and indirectly. Okay, like suppose if I am having a small kind of resort in an area, people who are staying in my place, I'll be preparing food for them, and from where I'm buying that food, from the local market, from the locals only. So the locals are also getting the business. My local, to whom I'm keeping as the service providers, all those localites only, because I can't hire everyone from the outer area. Okay, so they can't come and go. I can't provide them the space to stay in my property. So the locals, they're getting this thing, the stay also, sorry, employment also, economic opportunities also. So this is the beauty of this business. So next is the enhancement in standard of living. Okay, so we had seen many destinations. Again, I wanted to share one example with you. Luckily, I was a part of this thing, that tour guiding program of this place, Statue of Unity. Okay, so when Statue of Unity was under construction, or when it was about to finish, during that time we had gone to that area, and for 30 days around we had like trained the local guides of that place. And all those local guides, there's some are that local community people, Dangs, Tadvis, these communities are there in that area, and economically they were not having that much of resources. But now what happened that because of this Statue of Unity, earlier there was some hue and cry ki land gaya, ye gaya, wo gaya, some issues were there, but now the things are totally different. You go and meet those people, they are very happy. Their standard of living has been enhanced. They had purchased cars. Now they have the vehicles with them. They are having good houses, and they are now on social media with us. They are sending their pictures, and whenever we are visiting that area, they are just happy because by like sharing their experiences. Sir, I had did guiding for this celebrity, this area, that area. Now we are having this hotel in our area, this property, this camping site. The things are changing. Prime Minister keeps on visiting our places. Okay, so this is the, again, see, this is what else you want in an area where you have a lot of development, a lot of connectivity, a lot of opportunities, and people, they are enjoying to visit that destination. Okay, and this is what the beauty of tourism. Again, the standard of living get enhanced. They are having now good resources. They are living in a proper way. They are having all the benefits in that particular destination. Okay, and that's how they're initiating it. Fine. Next is the migration. As I've given you an example of Uttarakhand ghost villages. Apart from that, also in rural destinations, we had seen the migration. Okay, and why the migration happens? Because they're not having a source of income. If you are generating the source of income at their home only, okay, they don't have to move out of their places. They won't move out. Okay, let's take example Ladakh. In Ladakh, we have the homestays, we have that guiding culture is there. Okay, we have the resources in that area. So they will never migrate. Why should they will migrate? Okay, if they're getting everything in their destination. Okay, everything is available in that area. So that is something which we are getting out of this rural tourism. Okay, now being the students of management. Okay, so what you can do and what are this one and how this is going to be beneficial for you. Okay, fine. After having certain experiences, certain years of experience, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. So this is an area which is still untapped. If tapped, that is only in some few percents, only 1 or 2% tapped. Okay, still we have the 98% untapped potential area that is available. Okay, so what you can do is you can be a planner, you can be a destination manager, you can be a destination development authority agency, or sorry, part of that destination development authority or some DMC. Okay, and you can really set up your own organization. You can really become an entrepreneur and just see all these benefits. Okay, you are not going to get such benefits in other areas because already we are having huge competition in such places. But if you'll be talking about these destinations, these segments, here we're not having that much of competition, and that is the beauty of tourism. Okay, still untouched, less competition, lot of opportunities for you, and you can do a lot of innovation. Okay, I wanted to share one more small example of your example. That is, it's a live example, and it belongs to one of like some of your super seniors. Okay, so it's a group of 3 students: Vikas Rana from Himachal, Kanupriya Agarwal from Mathura, and third is Anupam. Okay, so Anubhav Sharma. Okay, again he's from Himachal. Okay, so these 3 students, what they did, they started a venture. Okay, they started their venture, and its name is this thing, Outlander Tracks. Okay, Outlander Tracks they had started. And initially what they did, they started with the concept of taking people on tracking destinations. So they were taking them on the tracking. Okay, later on they had added one more component, beer billing. Okay, this site is there in Himachal again, and that is famous for the paragliding. Okay, they had like they are having an opportunity for the paragliding. It means that if you really wanted to do paragliding in that area, so that beer billing is awesome place in India. So what they did, they had taken a camp in that area. They had taken a campsite. It means that and its name was around Monkey Mud Hostel, something like that. Okay, so if you wanted to stay in that area, so they're having a kitchen and all such things, and you can accommodate, you can get accommodation in that area. Plus you can go for the paragliding. Third, they're taking them on the tracking routes. Okay, so they initiated in the next level, they had come up with this second component. Now third thing what they did, they identified a rural destination. Okay, and that too, it's a valley. Actually it's a GB Valley that is around around 100 kilometers from 68 kilometers from Mandi. Okay, if you're going towards Himachal, towards Manali, so at one place which comes as Mandi, from Mandi it is around 68 kilometers, around a journey of around 2 hours, 2.5 hours, something like that. And in that area we have a GB Valley. In GB Valley, in a rural area, they had taken a resort, Maple House, something. That resort they had taken, and they had, it's not a premium property, but it's something which is good for the travelers or the visitors. So what they did, they had identified, they had made certain rooms made up of the sustainable or the locally made material available. They had given opportunity for the job for the localites of that area. Okay, and they're getting good number of groups when that Himachal got opened, and even during the time of this like when in COVID, when you were told to take this thing, the negative certificate and the permission. At that time, also they were getting a good number of people in that area. Okay, now what happened? Several companies, they had taken that property and they're doing work from home from that segment. Okay, so work from home bhi ho raha hai wahan se. So this is again unique experiences. Okay, so we are in touch with them. So we keep on sharing the experiences. Okay, so this is what the this is what exactly what we can do out of this tourism segment. Okay, now let's come to another important area. Okay, so suppose we had talked about the rural tourism, we had talked about entrepreneurship opportunities. Okay, we'll also work in how you can start your venture in that area. That will also be there. But before that, we have certain components of rural tourism. Okay, we have the farm tourism, we have or we can club all those activities in the agro. So what is happening in agro tourism? People are like visiting to such places. Okay, they are visiting to that destination. Okay, in that destination, like where they have the different kind of agri-tourism practices. Okay, and in those agri-tourism practices, they're involved in this thing, agriculture practices. Okay, like they're riding a tractor, they're doing the bullock ride. Okay, they are also sowing the seeds, they're involved in the harvesting thing. Okay, and they feel very much enjoyed. Wow, I did this, I made it. Okay, and they will also learn how things are growing. Okay, many of the people, they hadn't seen, many of the foreigners who are visiting India, first time in their life they're seeing that, okay, maize is growing on in such kind of plant. Okay, or wheat is growing in this way, because they had seen the packed material but they hadn't seen the original things on the ground level. So this is what the beauty of the agro-tourism is. Now ecotourism, again, I told you, like every village is having some ecotourism destinations nearby. Sometimes wildlife sanctuaries are also having the villages nearby. So now again, it's a concept that where we are going to those ecotourism eco sites. Okay, and again, the rural villages or the areas, you can stay in them along with them. You can take the services and you can enjoy the eco component of the tourism, which also can be related with the rural tourism component. Okay, so that is also having the ample of opportunities in India. Next is the sustainable tourism. Now, what is sustainable? That optimum utilization of the resources without putting maximum pressure on the future resources. Okay, so what we are doing is initially we are utilizing the things, but we are not putting burden on that. We are utilizing it in such a way that we are getting all the benefits, plus we are not like exhausting it. Okay, so that our future generations will also be able to get this idea. Okay, they will also be able to see this. So now in rural tourism, whenever we are talking about some kind of commercialization, some kind of negatives of the tourism, so we have to take care of the principles of sustainability. Okay, I wanted to give you an example here. Uttarakhand cloudburst. Okay, so when we heard that in Badrinath, Kedarnath cloudburst took place, and we had seen the devastation in that area. So during that time, a lot of problems have been faced. Okay, so now how this can be taken care of, or how this can be handled properly, or how that would have been taken care of properly. So what happened that we had studied the previous models. Then Uttarakhand was also already having a sustainable model. Now, what was that sustainable model? One is the carrying capacity. Carrying capacity means that number of people a destination can hold at a single time. Suppose in a day, if the destination can hold only 4,000 people, more than people, if they're coming to that area, that will create problem. Okay. So now many states, what they're doing, they started the online registration. You're visiting your area, do the online registration. It means that they will get to know how many people are coming to our area. Okay, and that will put less burden on the destination. And that rule was already there, but it was never implemented properly. One. Second is the movement of the vehicles to that area. So the speed was already fixed, 30 kilometers per hour. It means that if you're going slow, the vehicles which are already there, they will move out of that area destination, and you will reach after a certain time. If all the vehicles are reaching very fast to that area, it means that the burden will be on the destination. So it was already there. Restriction on construction was there, that within the water body, the construction should not be there up to this limit. But it was not followed properly, and that's why we had seen such a big devastation. Same thing happened in cloudburst of the Ladakh also, where we had seen that monasteries who were on the top of the hills, they hadn't faced any problem, but the houses or the new accommodation or new structures which were there alongside with the water stream, they were totally devastated or they were totally destroyed. Okay, so somewhere because we are not following the practices of the sustainable tourism. Okay, we had seen a very good example of this in Himachal, in Shimla, when last year or last year they had come up with the saying ki, don't bring tourists to our area because of this we are not having water. Okay, we are facing a water scarcity. Okay, so that came because somewhere we are not taking things in a positive way. We are not maintaining the principles of the sustainable tourism. Next is the responsible tourism. If we, okay, now let's handle responsible from tourism from two angles. One, as a travel agents or the tour operators or the service providers, like we people after certain time period. One. Second is the tourists who are visiting to that area. Okay, fine. If we are going to that area, if we are earning money out of that area, it is somewhere our responsibility that we should not spread litter in that area. Okay, we should not throw anything in those places. We should only bring our memories back. Okay, we should not leave our footsteps on those destinations. Okay, so this is what a principle of responsible tourism says. And even the service providers, if I'm a service provider, it is my duty that I should not I should stop people who are doing anything wrong in that place. Okay, we had seen that when Himachal got opened, within 2 days 65,000 people had gone to Himachal, and that too with that, and they had just dumped everything on the roads. Okay, a lot of bottles, plastic, this, that, food plates, they'd thrown everything on the road. So this is what we are not expecting in tourism. Okay, this is something which is destroying our tourism. So that's why the responsible tourism practices are very much needed. You are the youngsters, you are the torch bearers who are going to hold this responsibility after certain time period. And if you are able to handle it properly, if you're able to control it, believe me that things will get better after certain time period. But if you'll also become the careless, you'll not be taking care of it, that it will bounce back. Again, we'll be seeing that a lot of problem in the destinations, and we are not able to handle it properly. We are facing a lot of troubles, this, that, and all. Okay, so this will keep on happening. Okay, so that is something which we should avoid. One. Now let's come to this. We had a different set of activities. We had different number of activities which are there in any destination. Let's take example. What we can do if I'm going to a rural destination. One is involving in the fairs and festival. You all of you might have heard about that Kullu ka Dashera. Okay, fine. So again, that is a beauty, and people they are moving to that area to see the Kullu ka Dashera. Okay, then we have Swami Padmanabhan festival. Okay, then we have the boat race. Then we had that kind of sports and activities which are associated with the fair and festival. And rural people or in the rural destinations, this is a way of celebration. The festivals, the fairs and all, and we keep on celebrating. And this is a part of the culture also. Okay, so once we are there in that area, we are getting an ability to see different cultural aspect. Okay, wow, this is fair. People are so happy with little money they're enjoying, with little things they're enjoying. They're using, they're involved in different those kind of worlds. Okay, they're involved in different kind of activities, dance and other things. People are coming with a different kind of art and culture. Like we have the Pushkar. Earlier it was a simple festival. Now it's a big bang festival, a bigger festival. Okay, so such things are really attracting people, and they are really joyful being a part of such kind of things. Okay, next is the involvement in the local art and craft. So now what happened that every destination is having some kind of local art and craft. Okay, like again one example is there's a place Achratpur. Okay, Achratpur, that is in Bhuj area. Achrat means indigo, that is a dye. So they were having an indigo, the dye plants in that area, indigo in that area, and they were having the indigo prints. So now even that is available in that area, that they are doing that indigo prints in different bed sheets, suits and all. And that is a different art. And people, they wanted to see how they're doing it, how they're making it really interesting. Okay. Then we have, like in Bhuj area, we are having a big, big structure or big number of big place where we have all such kind of activities, where we have all such kind of segments and sports and activities. So this is something which we can enjoy in the rural destinations. Okay, fine. So next is involvement in farming and other agricultural practices. So what happens that in our destination, we have a lot of attraction, a lot of villages are there which are having the agricultural practices. Now what we can do is, again, if we are involved in those practices, I want to give you an example in Morache Chincholi. So that has been taken as a village, or a kind of rural tourism destination. So here, what is happening that people are going to that place. They're mingle up with the local people. Okay, sorry, they're meeting with the local people. They're seeing the different way of cultivation techniques. They're understanding that. They're learning that. They're getting the organic food from the field. They're cooking by themselves and they're enjoying it. Involvement in the local sports. Again, one example. There's a place. Kila Raipur, okay, and that is near around 15 kilometers away from Ludhiana, and that destination is famous for the rural Olympics. Okay, so Olympics, around 5,000 people or players they are participating. 5,000 people are participating in those activities of 3 days. 3 days events in that rural tourism sports, and 5,000 people that are participating with around 10 lakh people there like coming to that area within those days. Okay, they are coming to see those practices or those activities. So see, what else you want. Okay, now involvement in the local active events, they have a lot of rituals, they have different kind of functions and all. Part of that again we'll enjoy it. Okay, like marriages, if it is going on, so for them it's a different thing. We had gone to different destinations in Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, and once we are seeing their marriages, their culture, their dance, folk and art thing, so that is something really enjoyable. Okay, now the next is rural walks. So in destinations also, like in Garhwal and in other areas, so we have a lot of destinations who are which are having that rural walks. So people, they can be involved in the rural walks and they can really enjoy it. Homestays, as I discussed in the beginning, that we have a lot of homestay concepts. Like we have to categorize in homestays in different areas or in the different destinations, and that is something which is employment opportunities and really attracting a lot of people to stay with the localites. So again, on the left hand side on the top we have the Kila Raipur. Okay, then under this we have Morache Chincholi. On the right hand side it's a Basoli village of Jammu and Kashmir. On the top it is Shinch, again from Jammu, that is in Basoli. Okay, so this is a different kind of art and sport and even culture amalgamation we have in that destination. A lot of UNDP projects are also going on, okay, in India. So we had a lot of destinations which are coming under this. UNDP means United Nations Development Programs, okay. So we have a lot of failures and we have a lot of success. Fine, just a minute. Some chats are there. Okay, so fine, I'm coming to your questions. Okay, I'll stop here. Fine, some questions are there. Okay, fine. Somebody's saying, okay, I'm not able to get all this. Wait. Okay. Can you please explain agro-tourism once more? Okay, now what exactly is agro-tourism is? Again, agro-tourism and agri-tourism can be defined in two different categories, and sometimes we can club it together. Okay, and now what happens in agro? Actually, agro, we are just witnessing the practices. We are moving to some of that village area, rural destination, where we are having some agriculture season or some kind of activities which are going on. We are going and we are just taking the tractor ride and we are seeing that how they're doing the plowing, how they are doing that activities, how people are sowing the seeds and what kind of dance and cultural practices they are following with this. Okay, what kind of rituals they are following while doing that. We are just witnessing it. And in agri, what we do, we are just doing it by ourselves. Okay, we are taking all the equipments and we start doing those practices with them. Okay, so it's a broader term which we are using. Under that, we have a lot of terms that where they stay, what activities they do, what and how they enjoy it and how they celebrate it. That will come as a component. Okay, that you can do. Like what happens in South Korea and in other countries, they're taking them on a different farm. Okay, they will explain you, okay, this is how we have to pluck this particular food and we have to pack it in this way. Now whole areas here, they will organize a competition. Okay, you all have 15 minutes, let's see how many of you are packing this much of food in a box in this much of time. Okay, so again that competition will keep on going. So that is something, a beauty of this thing, agro and agri-tourism, is that you are doing that work that with enjoyment. It's not a burden on you. You are enjoying it. Okay, I'm having a competition with my colleagues. I'll finish it off in 35 minutes rather than 50 minutes. Okay, so I'll pack a whole box with all those good techniques under the supervision of some experts within a stipulated time period. Okay, so the winner will get some of the gift, and you are getting all the kind of like suppose if you are in that what is happening in the wineries and all wineries. Okay, so what is happening that people are going to those destinations and they are just plugging those black grapes and all. They are experiencing all those practices, what to do, how to do, and there are vineyards and all, so they're also experiencing it. Okay, so that experience is there in the agro. Fine. Next I'm having another question is there. So can you please once again explain economy enhancement? Okay, now how economy enhancement is there? Suppose let's take example. If I'm in a destination, okay, and I'm introducing tourism in that area. Okay, so now how that economy enhancement of that particular area will be? Suppose, let me give you an example. There are a lot of destinations are there, like in Ocha, then in Punjab also, in Himachal Pradesh, in Ladakh also. What we did, we had made certain association of that area. So it means that anything which is coming out of that rural tourism model will not directly going to the people who are from outside. They have to spend around 30% of that particular profit again back into the local economy. And how it will be there? By buying the local things from there, by doing their corporate social responsibility CSR activities, by making some of that schools and all in that area, by like saying by creating some kind of bridges in that area, by improving the road condition, by improving the other things, by providing them the better opportunities. Okay, by enhancing their wages also. Okay, wages of that local people who are there, by involving more number of people. We have one document, we'll discuss it later, that is Sustainable Tourism Criteria of India of 2016. So what happened in that, like we had come up with a model in which what is happening that if you are opening a resort or such kind of property in the rural destinations, you have to employ minimum at least 70% of the local population in your staff. Only 30% you can hire from the outside. And whatever you want to buy, you have to buy it from the locals only. Okay, so through this, now the money which we are getting, okay, there is no leakages there. That money is not going outside. Okay, some of the component remains inside, and that really enhances the local economy of that area. Okay, so that is something which is there. Now, sir, what are the job opportunities we can get in rural tourism? Okay, from your angle, we can divide it into two forms, from the managerial aspect and also from the service providers, local service providers aspect. So what you can do is you can really become the rural tourism destination management companies, where we have a lot of opportunities. You can make groups, you can make itineraries to those places. For those places, you can take them to that area. You can have some good terms with the local people of that particular destination. So what you can do is take the people to those places, allow them to stay in their houses. They will be paying some money to them also. Okay, and all those experiences which you're getting in that area will really give you more and more number of profit. Okay, your markup and your profit will always be there. Okay, one thing. Second thing is, what you can do is you can also provide the local entrepreneurship opportunities, like by staying here in Delhi, just like open up a model in that destination, give them the opportunity, create a lot of opportunities for them, and that will really change the face of that particular destination. Okay, so that is something which we can do in terms of job opportunities. And for youngsters, like we know that 66.6% population still untouched. So it means that, see, it's such a big area. Let's say it's hilly areas. Okay, 70% of the Himalayan region is in India. Okay, 70% 400 rivers are there in India. Coastal line is around 5,600 kilometers approx. Such huge resources we have. Okay, and many of them, they're touching the rural segments also. So why not to involve the rural people, where we are not having that much of budgetary concern. We don't have to invest so much money. No, not at all. Just involve the locals, show them that how they're going to get the benefit. Okay, and share the benefits with them. And we are also calling it as a sharing economies. We will discuss that thing whenever we will get some more time. We'll discuss it. Fine. Then how to maintain the resources data as well as the tourist data. See, there are the different components of the resources data and the state data. So generally what happened that all these, those people who are going through state borders, okay, so the generally process of registration is there in some of the border areas. And mostly the international tourists, whenever they are coming, they have to write where they are going and where they have to visit. So that data is maintained with us, with the organization that we are sharing with the tourism ministry also. Okay, in order to track them or in order to monitor them. But in terms of like such cases, in terms of this thing in rural tourism or in such models, so what we have, what is happening now under the sustainability concept, the rural tourism bodies that they are coming up in the form of this thing, a kind of associations. Okay, so they are registered associations. Okay, you have to register under that, and with that you are taking all those people in that this thing. You're just taking them on a certain register, and you're maintaining all the records from where they're coming, where they're going, and all those practices which you are for doing under Form 60 for the hotels. We are doing it here also. We're doing the proper registration. We are taking care of their all visits and all, key from where they come, where they wanted to go, what they are doing. That we are doing under this thing. Okay, so that's what, like, we are maintaining the data and resource data, which is like easily available resources. What you can do is, it's all about the searching on your behalf, how you can search the different areas. Everybody's having different industry interest areas. You just go and explore the places, find out that what are the different resources we have in terms of rural tourism. Okay, read the different models of the different part of the world, what they are doing in their area, come up with some innovative ideas and implement it here. Okay, so that's what you, that in that way you can really be having something unique, and that will give you a different edge over the others. It's not replicating the same thing in the area. It's about the new things or new beginning. Okay, now the best way to develop and promote rural tourism in India and motivate, best way is again a sustainable model or the responsible model. So what we can do is form the associations in India, bring the youngsters over here. Okay, what are the companies? Without private players, we cannot assume the business can be grown. No, not at all. So what we have to do is we have to bring those people here for the familiarization trip, familiarize them with the local areas, destinations, then send them back and give them the best rates, best opportunities. Let them ask them to send their people, will take care of them. So you should have the service resources and the service delivery options before calling them to area. Because if you're not providing, if you're not able to provide them the services, agar ek din aadmi bhooka raha, if they're not able to have food in that destination, so that person will never come back. Okay, why he will be visiting the area where he's not getting in food and proper kind of services. So it means that you have to train yourself first, then only you can come up with this. We have one model that is Gujarat. We had gone to Surat. Near Surat, we have one district that is a Dang district. In that, they had come up with the committees, like rural committee model. Okay, so in that model, they have the monitoring by the forest department, and that they have been trained by the tourism department people in terms of all these models, and now they are involved in the activities. I think this is a successful model where we can keep on monitoring them. Okay, UNDP में भी हम लोग monitoring करते हैं. Okay, fine. Let's take some more questions. Can I
excuse me, sir. Sorry to interrupt, sir. But as we are running late, may I please request you if we can end the session? I've given your mail ID to the students. The students can contact you. Dear students, I have written the mail ID in the chat box. If you want, you can contact sir through the mail ID.
Fine, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, students. Okay, it's really wonderful to share my experiences with all of you. I know I was not able, they were having so many questions that I was able to take around 4 or 5 questions only. So what you can do is you can write me a mail. Okay, we can have a conversation on that. Okay, so we'll discuss about it. And if really wanted to do something in that area, please do contact me. Let's see what we can come out of this. And even some of you, if you're really interested in such practices, and if you belong to such areas, some rural segments, then do contact me. I'm having one small study and I'm looking for some of the people who can take that survey. Okay, fine.